The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And welcome to The Factor Uncensored. Can you say the FBI has been involved in your search for love? That's a question. That's what users on a conservative-only dating app are now claiming. That app is called The Right Stuff. It launched last month and is very exclusive. It's invite-only and created for the more right-wing crowd. And there's also some unique questions to create a profile, like their thoughts about January 6th. Now, people who have tried out the app have a few criticisms, including small pool of women to pick from. Oh, and getting a ring from the FBI. Now, we invited two familiar conservatives on to talk about it. While we could have challenged damn near everything they had to say politically tonight, we just wanted to hear them talk. And boy, that's what they did.
And two of my favorite guests here on The Factor Uncensored are here tonight. We have Angela Box and Tex Christopher. I call you guys the king and queen of conservatism here on The Factor Uncensored. Glad to have you both. So first of all, when we talk about this app, The Right Stuff, a dating app designed for conservatives, why does there need to be an app for conservatives? That's more politics, right, Angela?
Well, I mean, everything is political now, and that is directly because of the left. The left has made sure that the status quo is leftism. So as conservatives, as you know, this administration has really clamped down on speech, on personal liberties, and on things that people that certainly in communist countries recognize very clearly that this is the first step of what they do when they persecute their political enemies. Conservatives, I hate to say this word, we need a safe space that we can go.
That sounds like a woke term, Angela.
I know, I'm sorry. I need to go to my crying closet right now. But we need a place where conservatives can go, that they can speak freely, that they're not going to be othered, which is what the left does. And I will remind my friends on the left that when you other people, horrible things can happen, like what happened in North Dakota to the young conservative that was murdered by a lunatic leftist simply because he was a conservative. And this is all due to of course, the ultra MAGA, the semi-fascist, very dark Hitlerian speech that Joe Biden gave that basically ramped this rhetoric up and gave the FBI and the DOJ even more an excuse to go after conservatives. And now
that will slide us into the issue that we have you on here for. Now, there are reports indicating that people who are on that dating app, when they posted certain things or profiles, they've received calls from the FBI, Tex.
I mean, that's crazy. It wouldn't surprise me. Welcome to Biden's Chinese Communist Party circus. I mean, I would not put anything against the FBI for doing that, to be quite honest, because we know that the good book says in Matthew 10:16, it says, behold, I send you out amongst the wolves as sheep, right? And we know as leaders on the other side, as conservatives, we know that the leaders of the Democrats are out there, that they're wolves and they're in donkey clothing and they're trying to trap these conservatives. And so we know that there's a war that has been waged against we the people under this administration. So we have to be wise as serpents. We have to notice if this looks like a trap, it probably is. And we also have to remember that anything that you say can and will be used against you. So if they're asking you to fill out questions and trying to probe you for January 6th, you better believe with this administration, anything like that would be possible. And we need to expect the unexpected. We need to be on guard. And
do you think, really quick, excuse me, Tex, Angela, do you think that the dating app could have been too safe of a safe place for some, and they may have written some inflammatory things that may have caught the attention of the federal government, the FBI specifically?
Well, I mean, this administration has targeted parents for going to school board meetings, and they lied about it. And the DOJ and the FBI had to admit that, yes, indeed, they were going after parents for going to school board meetings because they were pushing back on the woke agenda and the transgender insanity. So when you're talking about incendiary things, first of all, we have this thing in the United States of America called the First Amendment. And if you're not inciting violence and you're not threatening someone else, you get to say pretty much whatever you want. And certainly as consenting adults, if you are on a platform that you are engaging with people on the right, there's going to be political talk. Now, it's funny because Twitter literally has child pornography all over their platform. The left gets to say and do whatever the hell they want to do, and nothing ever happens to them. And so it is a chilling time. It is a very, again, it's been done throughout communist regimes throughout time. And the othering of conservatives, the persecution of Biden's political enemies is now being ramped up again, basically because of that ultra MAGA speech. They're giving the left basically free reign to persecute conservatives. And so again, unless there is a threat being made, you have the right to have an opinion that is different from a leftist. And unfortunately, a lot of leftists don't seem to believe that anymore. They don't really have a problem with this persecution of political enemies. And that's a very scary place that America is right now.
And Tex, have you had a chance to look at this app or sign up at all? Obviously, many conservatives are on there. So your thoughts about this?
I haven't, but we do have to be careful about those apps. There might be some deception there, and it's so important that we have to always look and say, hey, am I being deceived? Am I being tricked? And is this an app that they're just purely used that can be used against the people that participate in that app? So people do need to be careful. And the answer to all of this is we, the people, standing up and claiming our sovereignty and exercising our constitutional rights. And so I want to encourage everybody, be careful, but at the same time, I want to encourage you to speak up and be loud and stand. And when we see things that are wrong and we feel like we're being mistreated, you're going to hear from us. You're going to hear from us, Isaiah.
All right. Angela, go ahead, wrap us up.
Yeah, it's funny because the left, the threats that the left perceives that the right is doing, we want secure borders. We don't want woke indoctrination. We don't want transgenderism pushed on kindergartners. We want safe schools. We want safe communities. We want economic prosperity for everybody. These are the ideas that the Democrats find so dangerous. So that's why they have to demonize us and call us every name in the book, because they have no ideas to run on.
All right. Good to see you both here on The Factor Uncensored. Just stay away from that dating app, won't you?
As I said, we could have challenged those two on many of their political points all night long, but we just wanted to hear them talk about that particular situation.